And now, well, this is I'm finna get into some interesting stuff, man. I'm finna get into some interesting stuff, man. The correlations or the connection or the parallels between ministry and pimping, man. Hey, it's wild. Now, hey, this is how ministry and church, or this is my opinion. This is how ministry and pimping, or pimping and church, first started being connected. Because the old school pimps be suited up, booted up, and preachers be suited up and booted up, right? So I think that's the first connection. How I don't know if Don Juan came up with it or if he just made it famous. But the church, you know what I'm saying? They call pimping church. You know what I'm saying? And but it's a strong connection between pimping and ministry, or pimping and church. I'ma really say pimping and ministry though. You know, and I think it first started because of the dress. The people in church, especially the preachers and the ministers, be suited up and booted up. And the old school pimps be suited up and booted up. Now everything's more casual though. Most of the pimps nowadays is a little more casual, tennis shoe pimping. And even in church, everything is a little bit more casual. You know what I mean? But the original connection was the way the pimps dressed. It was similar to the preachers. Okay, that's the first connection. Nowadays, you got pimps that call themselves reverends. You got pimps that call themselves bishops. You got pimps that call themselves ministers. Okay, now watch this. If in church, if you got a preacher, a pastor, a reverend, a prophet, and people feel like he not real, or they feel like he all about money, what they gonna call him? They gonna call him a pulpit pimp. They gonna call him a pimp. Oh, he's pimping the congregation. He's pimping the church. He pimping the people. He a pulpit pimp. You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna say. So that's a connection, right? Because there's certain preachers and ministers that they call pimps, and there's pimps that call themselves ministers. Hey, I'm telling you. Okay, what else I got? Okay. Now in church, in ministry, you have traditions. Same things with pimping. You got traditions. Now check this out. But me, I'm a non-conformist. I'm a non-traditionalist. Like a lot of times pimps ain't gonna respect the pimping, or they not gonna respect the hoeing if a female don't want to. If a female ain't on the actual blade, if she not on the concrete, then it's pimps who don't respect that. Or I ain't gonna say they don't respect it, but they feel like she not a full-fledged. She not stomped down. She not 10 toes down if she not hitting that concrete. But that's the traditional method, is a female prostituting herself on the blade, on the track, on the concrete. But it's other ways to do it. But you got certain people that's real big on that, but that's tradition. Just like in the church, you got certain methods of preaching the Bible. That's tradition. If somebody, they might say, well, you got to use the King James. That's tradition. Or, nah, we don't believe in TV. Nah, we don't believe in internet. Nah, we don't believe in gospel rap because it's not tradition. So the pimp game is big on tradition. And the church is big on tradition. Okay. And then what else? Oh, yeah. Like, pimps are supposed to be together. You know, pimps really not supposed to be fighting amongst each other. But they do. Sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's, you know, one pimp doing something that's not traditional. He breaking traditional rules. Pimps get into it with each other, but they not supposed to. And just like ministers and preachers, they not supposed to get into it with each other, but they do. One person might not agree with another person's doctrine, or they feel like they teaching something that's unbiblical, and then sometimes it's jealousy. One pimp making a whole lot more money than another pimp. He got a whole lot more women than another pimp. So they might get into it really over some jealousy. Just like one preacher, he got a whole lot more members. Everybody flocking to his church. And then, another preacher really get into it with him over some jealousy stuff, or the way he operate in his gift or his anointing or whatever. You know what I mean? So you got preachers that get into it over different things, but they really not supposed to be attacking each other, but they do. And same thing, you got pimps that get into it and they be attacking each other over different things. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, if it's right or wrong. A pimp might really be out of pocket, or a minister might really be out of pocket, and another minister had to get on him, or another pimp get on another pimp. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, whether it's right or wrong, they get into it with each other, but they really not supposed to. Yeah, another thing, if you a single minister, you supposed to be abstinent. You know what I'm saying? And then, you supposed to be abstinent. You ain't supposed to be slanging penis around everywhere if you a single minister. Or if you a married minister, that's between you and your wife. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm gonna put it like this. If you a minister, whether you married or single, you supposed to have control over your penis. If you a pimp, you supposed to have control over your penis. You ain't supposed to be slanging wood, slanging penis like a wild man. Hey, if you a minister, you supposed to have control over your penis, man. Whether you abstinent or whether it's you and your wife, you ain't supposed to be slanging penis like a wild man. And same thing if you a pimp. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be abstinent, but you got to definitely have control over your wood. You ain't supposed to be slanging wood, slanging it around like a wild man. You know what I mean? So it's a certain level of self-control, sexual self-control that you supposed to operate in. And I'm going to give a shout out to all the P's that I be listening to, man, from Mac Rooster. He represent Dallas, talking about that Scary Harry, Freeze, Sinful to P, all them guys, man. But I think I be really cutting for Freeze though, man, because Freeze, I'm a story freak. I love telling stories. I love hearing stories. And Freeze be telling them stories, man. The good, the bad, and the ugly. He don't just tell about the good side of the game. Freeze, he be talking about he be telling them stories, man. And the pimp game is a lot like the dope game. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole lot of snitches. You got a whole lot of informants. You got to watch out for setups. Females can set you up. You know what I'm saying? Freeze told a story about how a female basically got him kicked-doed. And dudes ran up in his crib and took everything, and he had to wear the same suit and stay down on the concrete till he knocked another bra. But speaking on that tradition, here go another thing. If you do certain things, one pimp will be like, nah, he not a real pimp. You know what I'm saying? Just like, say if you a minister and you fall into sin or something, or you a prophet or something, and people be quick to say, he not real. He not a real prophet. He not a real evangelist. He not a real preacher. He not a real minister. And pimps will do stuff, and other pimps will be like, well, he not a real pimp. He just a square. He just a simp. He just a trick. He not a real pimp. People will discredit you real fast, or they'll seek to discredit you. You know what I'm saying? That's another connection. You know what I mean? If you do something out of pocket, they'll write you off. He ain't no real pimp. Same thing. He ain't no real prophet. If you get caught in sin or something, he ain't no real one. You know what I mean? So it's a high standard. It's a high standard to be a pimp, and it's a high standard to be a minister. Yeah, it's a real high standard, man. A pimp is not an average dude. It's not an average man. A minister, you know what I'm saying, is not an average man. So it's a lot of connections. You're different. But here go the difference to me, though. A pimp, you got to get chose by a female. A minister, you got to get chose by God. I don't believe in the pimp God. I just believe in one God. But I believe pimping is a spirit. You know what I'm saying? I believe pimping is a spirit. And I believe hoeing is a spirit. I don't believe tricking is a spirit. I heard people talk about the spirit of tricking. I believe lust. I don't believe tricking is a spirit, an actual. If you talk about a spirit, it got to be an angel or it got to be a demon. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the spirit of pimping, let's keep it real. That would be a demon. You talk about the spirit of hoeing. That would be a demon. The only spirit is the Holy Ghost or angels. You know what I'm saying? The Holy Ghost and the angels. Those are the spirits that come from God. All these other spirits, if it don't line up with the word, the Bible, then it's a demon spirit. But when you talk about the spirit of tricking is not a spirit. Tricking is just a way to fulfill your lust. Because I'm sure that a guy who is tricking, he finna pay this woman for sex. But if the woman is willing to give it to him for free, then I'm pretty sure he would keep his money in his pocket. So it's not about tricking. It's about fulfilling the sexual lust. It's about fulfilling the sexual lust. It ain't got nothing to do with tricking. Tricking is just a way to fulfill his lust. That's just like if you hungry. If you gonna give me some free food, I'll take the free food. But if I gotta pay for it, then I'll pay for it. But it's really just about getting me some food. Same thing when it comes to sex. If you can get the sex for free when you want it, then I'm sure you're going to take the free sex. But if you got to pay for it, then you're willing to pay for it. So it's not that tricking is a spirit. It's just that tricking gets you what you want. So tricking is not a spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like a pimp. If you got all these females working for you, you can have sex whenever you want. So you don't have to trick. But at the same time, if you focused on sex more than on money, then your pimping gonna be watered down. You know, shout out Johnny Cash, man. He be on some stuff too. He be on some stuff. And a lot of these dudes go at it with each other. Shout out Folks Alert too, man. Hey, here go another thing. Okay, so you got certain ministers, right? If people don't feel like they real, then they on a mission to expose you. Like you got certain websites that expose churches and ministries and preachers that they whole mission to is expose them. Same thing with the pimping. You got people who they whole mission is to expose these pimps for doing stuff that's out of pocket in the game. So pimps got people on a mission to expose them, just like preachers and ministers got people on a mission to expose them. The only thing about Folks Alert, though, Folks Alert be, I just kind of get the vibe. Like, I think the homie was in the game at one time or something, but the vibe that I get from him, though, is like he got rejected by the circle. You know what I'm saying? I feel I could be dead wrong, but it's just the vibe that I get. Like he got rejected by the game or outcasted by the game or something. So then he make it his mission to expose the cats that is in the game. Like it's his mission to expose these guys. But I know some of his stuff be real, but I don't know. I don't know if all of his stuff is real, or I don't know. I don't know if his information is true, or if he just got a vendetta against these guys and he just want to make them all look bad. So it's probably somewhere in the middle. Some of his stuff probably true. Some of it probably just fake stuff to, you know what I'm saying, put dirt on people's name. But it's still interesting though. You know me, I don't really get caught up in nothing if you ain't showing no paperwork, and just because somebody show paperwork, that don't mean it's real either. You gotta really read it, and it gotta really come together and make sense. Cause you can call anybody a snitch and present a little paperwork, but if you don't read the paperwork and it don't make sense, then that's not enough, you know, because you can put that snitch jacket on anybody. You can say anybody is an informant. You know what I'm saying? Pimps, and his pimps got a lot of dirt on them, just like his preachers and ministers with a lot of dirt on them. You know what I mean? And just like a minister, you could be a minister, a preacher, but you still human. So you done probably done some out-of-pocket stuff. Just like a pimp is a pimp, but he's still human. So it's very well likely that he done some out-of-pocket stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even pimps ain't perfect, just like preachers and ministers ain't perfect. But that don't mean they not a pimp. That don't mean they not a minister. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot of correlations, man. But I cut for Freeze because he a storyteller, and he tells stories about the times he got beat up, dudes jumped on him, dudes kicked in his door. Like, he don't just tell the good side of the game. Yeah, man, I got all this money at this broad, man. You know what I'm saying? He tell the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. So I really cut for him, man. I really cut for him, man. Dang, I was finna say something else. Yeah, I really cut for him though. Dang, I was finna say something, man. It slipped my mind. Dang, I don't remember. I guess it wasn't meant for me to say it, man. But yeah, it's real in the game though, man. You know, life is real. You know what I'm saying? Well, what you gonna do it to the utmost. You know what I mean? Shoot, do it to the utmost and be smart. Especially, you know, be smart, period. You know, if you're doing the work of the Lord, then the devil on your trail. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something illegal, the law's on your trail. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Just be smart with what you do, man. Commit yourself to something real. Don't be jealous, man. You know. Oh, yeah, another thing about pimping, man, just like you got like same thing about ministry. You got people that's more popular and more famous than others, but then you got people that's they still qualified, bona fide, faithful ministers, but they just not famous. Same thing with pimps. You got certain pimps that done got famous, but it's a whole lot of real pimps that's not famous. And then what I want to say about pimping, the game don't, you know, the game, it's a lot of pimps that's not really successful. It's a lot of pimps, the game didn't really go their way. You know, it's a lot of pimps end up strung out on drugs, strung out on dope. A lot of time the women can turn the man onto some drugs or something like that, and it end up bad. A lot of pimps, it's pimps that be getting killed. You know, a pimp can get shot by one of his girls, or a pimp can get shot by another pimp, or a pimp can get shot by another chick, or a pimp can get shot by a trick. Because a lot of pimps, they not gangster. You know, a lot of pimps don't keep that pistol, you know, which they should. Because pimps be getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? It don't always go good for a pimp. See, when you look at Don Magic 1, you know, you see the glory side of the game. But it's a whole lot of, it get ugly on some pimping. A lot of times, a pimp might get killed by a square. You know what I'm saying? You know, it don't always go well, man. It don't always go good. A lot of pimps catch charges, man. They playing the game in a, you know, they not playing the game in a real smart way. And then they got the human trafficking laws. A lot of pimps, man, catching charges, man. Not treating their women right, and they women tell on them, man. And pimps getting 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-year sentences, man. And what a lot of pimps would call mispimping. You know what I'm saying? Not playing the game right. But yeah, pimps be getting killed, be getting robbed, catching charges, getting a lot of time. Just like you got your famous dope boys. But it's a whole lot of other dope boys who didn't make it out the game and got killed and got long sentences, prison sentences. It's the same with the pimping. It's a few successful pimps that we know. You know what I'm saying? But it's a whole lot of pimps got sacrificed in the game. You're doing a whole lot of time or done got killed. And the same thing, a lot of time what people don't understand, the same things that a pimp go through with they women is the same thing that a square go through with they women. You could be a square and you could lose your girlfriend to another dude. Or you could be married and end up getting divorced and your ex-wife pop up with another dude. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Your chick, your broad get mad because she don't get her way and she want to run off and be with another dude. Same thing with a pimp. Your broad don't get her way, she run off and pop up with another pimp. You know what I'm saying? She mad at you and she flirting with another pimp. Or on some square stuff, your girl get mad at you and she flirting with another dude. They really go through the same things. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of relationship. Yeah, same old stuff, man. You know what I mean? Female, if she gonna act up because she don't get her way, it don't matter if she a 304 or if she a square chick. If that's the kind of mentality she got, then that's what she gonna do. She gonna act up when she don't get her way. She gonna run to the next dude who she think she can get her way with, or just to make you mad. Your girl could pop up with another dude just to make you mad. Your 304 could pop up with another pimp just to make you mad. And then here goes something I thought about back to the traditional stuff. But I'm gonna say this right here though. This what some people think. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. Some people, like, they'll say, like if a female should actually work on the blade, or if she should work on the internet. But I'm gonna tell you this though. Now here go the thing. If a female can work on the blade, then she can work anywhere else. If she can handle the blade, then she can handle the casino, she can handle the bar, she can handle the internet. You know what I mean? If she can work the blade, then she can handle any other environment for working, for prostitution. If she can handle the blade, then she can handle anything else. Because the blade is the most dangerous. You got to watch out for the laws. You got to watch out for other pimps. You got to watch out for a trick who on all that extra stuff, trying to rape the broad, kidnap the broad, all that. You know what I'm saying? If she can handle the blade, because the blade got the most threats. So a woman had to be smart. She got to know how to read her environment. She got to have good instincts. If she finna hop in the car with a trick to do a date, and she just got a bad feeling, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Just walk off, just burn out. She got to have good instincts and all that to work on the blade. Now, all that come with time. A female ain't gonna learn all that overnight, but if she get in motion on that blade, she gonna learn that. You know what I'm saying? She gonna learn all that. So if she can handle the blade, she can handle anything. So it's a cold thing for a female to know how to work the blade. But at the same time, though, the working on the blade ain't the smartest thing, though. Working the internet, to me, is smarter than working the blade. Because anytime you're doing something illegal, to be out of the way is your best, that's your best strategy. Anything where you can do what you do and be out the way, that's your best strategy. Anytime you're doing something illegal, you should want to be out the way. You should want to be concealed. The internet is more concealed than the blade. You more of a target on the blade than you are on the internet. Now, don't get me wrong. The police will sweep the internet too, but they gonna sweep the blade before they sweep the internet. And you know what I'm saying? They gonna sweep the blade before they sweep the internet. And then when they do hit the internet, they might get 2, 3, 4 prostitutes, something like that. But you can't wipe out the internet. It's too active. It's too active. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's the internet is the smartest way to do it, man. But traditional pimps, they want to put a broad on that blade, and show the broad off to their pimp partners and all that. But when it really come to being smart, though, I feel like the internet is the best way to do it. But you don't get all that fame. See, this the thing, too. If you see, like, I'm not a traditionalist, here go my rules for pimping. I really only got 3 basic rules. You can't be snitching. You can't be telling on nobody because this the lifestyle you chose. And this for a pimp or a 304. You know what I'm saying? You can't be snitching and you can't be telling. This the life that you chose. So whatever happened, you got to stand on it. My second rule. Don't force nobody into the game who don't want to be in the game. And don't hold nobody hostage in the game that no longer want to be in the game. Because anything other than that, you on some guerrilla tactics. And then my third rule, you got to be able to handle that serve. You can't be trying to fight another pimp because your broad chose him. You can't be trying to shoot another pimp, kill another pimp because your broad chose him. And then I'm sure that you going to pull somebody else broad. It's all in the game. You got to be able to handle that serve if it come your way. Them my 3 rules. Anything else, I ain't worried about. Them my 3 rules, though. If I was on some pimping, you got to be able to handle that serve. If it happens, you got to be able to handle that serve because you'll take another broad if she seem like the right kind of broad and she choose you. She ain't coming with no whole lot of mess. A female with some morals and all that. You know what I'm saying? You might get chose by another dude broad. So if your broad choose somebody else, you got to be able to handle that. We ain't snitching. We ain't telling. And then we ain't forcing nobody to be into the game. A lot of them dudes, the justice system will fry you. Find out you got these girls working for you and they really didn't want to work for you and you done threatened them and beat them up and all this goofy stuff saying you gonna kill their family and all that goofy stuff. Like, yeah, you deserve to do some time. I mean, it's bad enough to rape a female, but you know what I'm saying? You forcing the broad, not for you to have sex with her, but you forcing the broad to have sex with a multitude of other men. That's even worse than rape. So, yeah, you're not going to last long in the game because the laws ain't playing, especially once they get a hold of one of them type of females and she going to tell it all. You know what I mean? So them my 3 rules. All that other stuff, whether you pimping a broad on the internet or on the blade or where you pimping or how you doing it, that's just the method. It's just like preaching the gospel. Some people be like, well, I only preach in church. I don't believe in TV. I don't believe in streaming over the internet. You still doing the same thing. It's just a different method. You just using different methods to get the word out. Same thing with gospel rap. That's just another way to get the word out. So it's the same thing with pimping. It's just a different method of pimping, whether you pimping on the street, you pimping abroad at the bar, you pimping abroad at the casino, you pimping abroad on the internet. It's still pimping, it's still prostitution. It's just a different method.